CAHPERD Chats.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first episode of CAHPERD Chats. We came up with this idea to do CAHPERD Chats because we've seen a lot of different podcasts or heard a lot of podcasts and seen a couple of different video interviews of some people, out there in the world of health and physical education. And we wanted to do something that was a little less polished, just a little more comfortable, and just have some CAHPERD Chats with some of the movers and shakers in the world of health, physical education, recreation, and dance. And hopefully can bring in some, people that are interesting, that you find interesting and can learn a little bit about them. And so my name is Brent Powell, and I'll be your host here for our first episode of CAHPERD Chats. We are very honored today to be able to speak to our very first CAHPERD Chat special guest, Executive Director of CAHPERD, James Clement. With over 14 years of educational experience as a PE teacher, adapted PE teacher, athletic director, coordinator, and administrative experience, James has also worked in the fitness industry, as well as with a Northern California Parks and Rec program. His wife, Jackie, and their two children are his inspiration to work hard and play hard. He tries to provide a life for his family that is better than what he had growing up and focusing on life skills and experiences. James considers his new CAHPERD role as executive director to be his dream job, as he hopes to be the leader everyone deserves. Welcome, James, to our first episode of CAHPERD Chats.
Hey!
James, welcome in. So we're going to have a couple different questions for you. Very laid back kind of situation.
All right.
James, I know everyone who's seen you and seen pictures of you over the years know that you kind of resemble Captain America. So here's my first question. What superpower would you choose for yourself and why?
Well, first of all, thank you. It's always humble to hear that people consider that, but I'd probably have to go with mind reading. I like to have efficient and effective communication. And if I just knew what others were thinking, I can just kind of get to the point. And I think everybody would be a lot happier if I could do that.
That kind of makes sense. I have a habit of sort of just talking too much and saying too much. And so I get that. So speaking of superpowers, why did the Invisible Man turn down a job offer?
I don't know.
He couldn't see himself doing it. Get it? Little dad joke there. So
I like it.
I know you're known for your puns and your jokes, so hopefully that was, kind of up there with James level sort of stuff.
Well, yeah, I didn't see that one coming. That was good.
I see what you did there, or did I? Because I'm invisible. So think back though, James, to you as a teenager. What advice would you give yourself at the age of 15?
The age of 15. I'd probably have to say work hard in everything. I feel like I definitely just kind of skirted by doing the bare minimum in order to play sports, and I don't recommend that. And I think I've been a good advocate for those that are scholar or student athletes to do better than I did. But I'd also have to say to look into like a JROTC program. I feel like I definitely missed an opportunity there, at least to kind of exhaust all possibilities of where I could see myself in the future. But yeah, work hard in everything that you do in high school. It pays off later.
Nice. So with this next question, there's so many different possibilities with this that you could answer, and so many jokes that I'm pretty sure can come from whatever you choose to answer. But if you could compare yourself to any animal, which would it be and why?
Let's see. Well, my daughter would probably say giraffe, but that would just giraffe her crazy. My son would probably say shark, but that's just too deep for me. My wife would probably say dolphin, but what's the porpoise, right? So I would probably have to say, I'd probably have to say eagle, because they're able to kind of soar above and kind of assess situations before they dive in to take care of business. But they're not very social, right? And I feel like I'm a little more social than an eagle. I've always been fond of lions too. Uh, I just think they're beautiful to see from afar. Um, but just their whole team chemistry, they're very, they have a unit. The lionesses are very, very important to the pride, and they're providers just as much as the male lions are. Um, and those male lions are known to be the protectors. And I definitely have a relationship to understanding how that whole system works. But um, yeah, it's kind of a tie between an eagle and a lion. So I don't know if that really counts. I'm sorry.
I think, and if I'm not, I could be wrong here, so don't quote me. I'm not a, I don't know, biologist or animalologist or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
But I think eagles, if I'm not mistaken, actually are kind of social, especially when another eagle is sick. And I think they
Oh,
come down and they actually will help like take the feathers off and do all this stuff and help them mend and bring them food while they're, don't quote me on that, but for some reason that
yeah.
sticks in the back of my mind. So that's good that
Huh.
if that is true, we can add that to your answer as being kind of a caregiver, right? Taking care of
Yes, sir.
others.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I just learned something, so I appreciate
Just adding some
that.
more to your interview there. I don't know. Animalologist. What am I thinking about?
Yes.
So,
Sounds
all right, we're going to move on to some career questions here.
okay. All right.
What good advice were you given early on in your career and by whom?
Ooh. Um, I've had a lot of good advice, mostly during my college years, actually. But I have to say, the one that really kind of opened my eyes to a bigger world was the professor at Sac State, Dr. Scott Modell. Um, he had just kind of seen me in one of his classes and says, "You have the right personality and the heart for adapted PE. You need to give that a try." And kind of fast forward, and I got involved. I said, this is where I want to be. This is a lot of fun." Um, and unknowingly, we ended up working together in a summer camp called Wave, and he played Cupid and put my wife and I in a group, knowing that we might have good chemistry together. And go figure, ended up working out pretty good, and we're still married. So you could say that his advice got me my wife. So
So, would you say that was a chemistry class?
I see what you did there. I see.
So, if you had to choose another profession entirely, what would you have been?
Oh, well, I kind of alluded to it earlier, but something in military or first responder. Um, Anytime I see somebody in uniform, I'm just so thankful for what they do, for all the years of service and sacrifice. Um, I have some family that have been in military. I have family that are currently in the police or sheriff department. So definitely thankful for those folks. And I think that's probably where I would have looked into a little bit more, if I didn't find kinesiology.
Nice.
Yeah.
So this, you kind of alluded to this a little bit, but who have been the 1 to 2 people who have been the most influential to you in your career?
Uh, well, I think Dr. Scott Modell was definitely a key person as far as just kind of opening my eyes. Um, but you said influential, correct?
Correct.
Um, I probably have to go with two individuals. Yeah, that are. It's actually not necessarily Dr. Scott Modell, but I mean he is amazing. But Dr. Julie Kitchen from Sac State, she is the one that really opened my eyes to being a passionate educator, um, getting me involved with leadership at the campus as the PE Majors Club president. Opened my eyes to CAHPERD, and then another one would be a legend in the coaching area of boys basketball, Dean Stark. He was able to really open my eyes to being a part of something bigger than myself. Um, the sacrifice that it takes to be a part of a team, it's selfless, but yet you're giving it your all. So in a way, you're being, I want to say selfish about what you're doing, but you taking pride in what you're doing, because everybody else is dependent on you. So I would have to say those two were probably my most influential growing up.
Good. And if I'm not mistaken, Julie just received the highest Capered Award, correct? The past conference.
That is correct. It definitely well deserved. She has done so much for so many, and I think she's definitely in the right spot. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So we're going to move on to the next part, which I think is kind of fun. We're calling this our speed challenge questions.
Ooh.
Your challenge includes the task to answer the questions as fast as you can, but provide just a little detail, right, to explain why that's your answer. Okay. But here's the catch. You must answer them while performing different exercises. Do you accept the challenge?
Yeah, I'll have to move my chair a little bit, but yeah, let's make this happen. Let me get situated a little bit more.
I will call out the exercise first. You start the exercise as soon as you hear which form of exercise it is, and then I'll read the question. If we need to make some modifications, we can. So the first one is dance.
Okay.
All right. There you go. If you could live anywhere else, where would it be?
Somewhere near the ocean.
Ooh, where would that be near the ocean, and which ocean?
Probably Pacific somewhere. Yeah, really anywhere. North, south, I'm good with any part of the ocean.
All right, good. Burpees.
Okay. Can I do modified push-ups instead?
Let's go for it.
The mic. Okay. All right.
Push-ups. What is your favorite meal to eat?
My wife's egg rolls.
So as you modified the push-ups, it kind of looks like we could pretend like there's a plate of food in front of you too, right? Jumping jacks.
All right.
What is your favorite musician or band?
The rapper Nelly.
A good one.
Because it's getting hot in here.
Squats.
All right.
Do you prefer the beach or the mountains? You've kind of already answered this.
Yeah, the beach. I've already lived in the mountains and it's too cold.
Okay. Good job. Thanks for that. Thanks for participating in our speed challenge questions.
Oh, I like it. That's a good way to kind of tie this all back into capered and fitness and wellness. I like it.
There we go. So now we're going to ask you a couple of questions about capered. What is your future vision for capered?
Wow, that's a great question. I think we've definitely built a lot of strong foundation with what we've done. I think we're in our 92nd year of operation, so we've done a lot of great things. I'd say growing in some areas, maybe making some more connections with college campuses and professors. So I'm still kind of catching my breath a little bit. To kind of form and forge those relationships with the future professionals, as those professors have done a lot of great things in kinesiology, specifically the health, physical education, recreation, and dance fields, that if we're able to maintain those relationships from their college years, hopefully that will strengthen our membership moving forward. So I wouldn't necessarily want to take away from anything that we've done, but just kind of add on and build off that foundation that we've created so far.
I think that's a great theme sort of for this whole interview, is that everything seems to be tied back to how influential college was for you, how it's helped you not only meet your wife, but your career, and who's been influential to you has been college professors. And now that's an emphasis you're wanting Caper to do, is look back at future professionals as well. So I think that's a great theme throughout this whole interview. Yes, sir. Thank you. I completely agree, obviously. So that brings us to a close of our first ever Capered Chats. Before we leave, we have some exciting news. I'm getting tingly. I will have a co-host for our future Capered Chats. It will be the one, the only Mr. James Clemmer. Hey, all right. I look forward to hosting Capered Chats with you, James. And as my new co-host, can you close us out here? Absolutely. Thank you so much, Brent. This has been an honor and a privilege to experience this journey with you. And
Just a reminder, folks, follow us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We have a main page and a group page there. Give a special shout out to our president, William Potter, for his leadership this year. He has done some great things, and it will come to an end this March 31st. And that's where we'll get to welcome Tanya Moore, who will serve as president on June 1st. Look for our call for proposals for our 2023 CAHPERD State Conference in Santa Clara. It is March 9th through 11th, 2023. Tanya has chosen the theme of creating connections and building bridges. And also look for a call for proposals for the 51st National Adapted PE Conference to be held November 10th through 12th, 2022 in San Jose, California. Find more information on our website, www.caperd.org. And that brings us to a close for our first episode of CAHPERD Chats. Join us next time as we continue to chat with other movers and shakers within HPERD. This next one shares a nickname with Mr. T.
Ooh, I'm intrigued. Just a point of clarification is I think our notes said March 31st, but Will ends May 31st. So we don't want him to leave any sooner than he's supposed to. Yes.
I think he might have been done mentally March 31st, but actually we just met yesterday. He's looking forward to helping us finish out this year strong. So forgive me, that is May 31st.
Yeah, no, I think it's, as a past president, I completely understand that you do get exhausted after a conference. So, all right. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time.
CAHPERD Chats.